Look, there is no denying that Aretha Franklin is the queen of soul. Hey there, folks. How you doing? My name is Charlton, in case it's our first time meeting. Hey, look, today what we're going to do is we're going to go down my list of my top 5 favorite Aretha Franklin songs from the 1960s. You know, Aretha, her music has touched us for a whole lot of decades. So I'm breaking it up into some categories. So this one is the 1960s, okay? These are the rules. Number 1, these are my favorites. Your favorites may be different, and that's okay. Number 2, chart position has nothing to do with this list, okay? Has nothing to do with if it's the most popular song or whatever the case may be. And number 3, drop a comment of your favorite songs of Aretha Franklin from the 1960s in this comment section. And I promise you, I check my comments and we can talk about it. Let's get to this list right now. Coming in at number 5 on my list is the song Baby, 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 okay? Baby, Baby, Baby was written by Aretha and her sister Carolyn. Now, this was on the 1967 album, I Never Loved a Man. And it actually kind of sounds similar to another song that's going to be on my list, so you stay tuned for that. This song came out at a time when they first started to call her the Queen of Soul, okay? Actually, the album I Never Loved a Man is actually the album that actually pushed her from what she was doing. I think she had done gospel, of course, but then, you know, she was on Columbia Records, and Columbia was more of the big band era, not so much of the soul, funk, or whatnot that you really kind of categorize Aretha in, but she was doing more of the big band kind of jazz music. So, and that was great too. If you ever get the opportunity to listen to some of it, you'll enjoy it. But Baby, Baby, Baby in the key of G is my number 5 for Aretha 1960s. Coming in at number 4 on my list is a song from that Columbia Records era, and the song is Accentuate the Positive. Now, this version from Aretha came out in 1962. And by the way, this song is written by Harold Arlen and Johnny Mercer. And Harold Arlen is the guy, he wrote the music for Over the Rainbow, you know, somewhere over, you know, that song. He wrote the music for that. He is one of the songwriters for this one. This song actually was a nominee for the best, for an Oscar for the best original song for the movie called Here Comes the Waves. Aretha's version is great. This song's been covered by so many people, including Aretha. It's been covered by Bing Crosby, Connie Francis, Ella Fitzgerald, Sam Cooke, even Paul McCartney has a version of Accentuate the Positive. It's on Aretha's album called The Electrifying Aretha Franklin. You know, the song is about being positive and focus on that positive stuff. Don't worry about the negative. That's what I say is accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative, but don't mess with Mr. In between. You hot or cold, accentuate the positive. I think you'll like it too. It's big band sounding, but it works. It works. Like that could have been a song she really could have performed, you know, throughout her career had she chosen to do so, but I get it. But accentuate the positive, number 4. Y'all, if you like the blues, you're going to love my number 3. Number 3 is Dr. Feelgood. Love is a Serious Business. Now, I used to wonder, well, why is it called Love is a Serious Business? I've heard the demo, and you can hear it too because it has been released, so it's streaming everywhere. There was a chorus portion that actually said, love is a serious business. I guess they decided when it was time to cut the actual record that they weren't going to use it. I guess, but since it was part of the title, you know, like legally they kept it that way. It's fine by me. This song is written by Aretha and her then husband, Ted White. It's on the I Never Loved a Man, The Way I Love You album as well. And that's the one I told you is kind of similar to Baby, Baby, Baby. They didn't use it, like I said, the love is a serious business, but you can tell love is still a serious business by just what she was saying in this song, right? This one is sure enough raw, and I know that's Aretha on the piano on that song, okay? If you want to hear a real good live version of it, check out her version of this song on the album live at the Fillmore West. It's raw. She was hoarse during this live performance of on that entire record, but just the fact that she giving it all she gave it, she actually, y'all, she turned Dr. Feelgood into a whole revival at the end, especially if you hear the long, unedited version. That's all I'm going to say. That's my number 3 song, y'all. Dr. Feelgood in the morning. Hey, y'all, we are getting to the end of the list. This is my number 2 song. But before I get to the number 2 song, I do have a trivia question for you. What southern city was Aretha Franklin born in? Time's up. Here is the answer right here. Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis 10, my hometown. I actually know where the house is, where they live. It's still there. I think there's a marker there now showing that this is a historical landmark. So, hey, Memphis, Tennessee. I know you knew that, though. Let me go and get to my number 2. My number 2 song, y'all, is I Say a Little Prayer for You. Okay? It's a cover song, of course. Dionne Warwick did it first in 1967. Aretha did it in 1968. It came out on her album entitled Aretha Now. Okay, it was a hit. It hit number 10 on the Hot 100. You know, like I said, my list has nothing to do with that, but it did hit number 10, right? And it hit number 3 on the R&B charts. Now, Burt Bacharach was one of the writers of the song. And in an interview, he said that he actually prefers Aretha Franklin's version over Dionne Warwick's that he actually produced. He feels like that Aretha gave it the rawness and the what do you call it? And the tempo was the right tempo. He felt like Dionne's was more rushed and Aretha's was just a better, I guess it was just more concise. And so he chooses that one as the definitive version of I Say a Little Prayer. Another cool thing I'll say is that same background singers who did the backgrounds on Dionne's record, The Sweet Inspirations, they did the backgrounds on Aretha's because they were doing backgrounds for her too. Y'all know the Sweet Inspirations, right? You know, Sissy Houston, one of the Sweet Inspirations, you know, the mother of Whitney Houston. And you know the Sweet Inspirations anyway. They said, I need your sweet, you know, inspiration. I'm not going to sing it because I don't want them to get me on the channel. In 2021, Rolling Stone also gave Aretha's version of I Say a Little Prayer. They actually gave it number 117 on their little list of 500 greatest songs of all time. And if you want to see something real fun, go and look it up on YouTube. Dionne and Aretha singing it together. And this happened when Dionne was hosting the show called Solid Gold, and it was around 1981. And they sang it together. That's probably the only time they sang it together. So if you want to see that, check that out. But my number 2 song, Aretha Franklin's version, I Say a Little Prayer for You, our Father. All right. We made it to the number 1 song on the 1960s Aretha Franklin songs list. And the number 1 song on my list is, give this video a like if you like this video and you love Aretha Franklin. If you like it, I love it. I appreciate it. Number 1 song, Ain't No Way. Y'all, I'm telling you something. Ain't No Way comes on in my car, I don't ever skip it. I don't care what I'm listening to. Soon as I hear those first 3 notes from Aretha on the piano, I'm like, oh, here it comes. And then here comes the saxophone. I'm like, yes, Ain't No Way. Ain't No Way was written by her sister Carolyn. There's a video of Carolyn online teaching the song, and apparently the song was going to be in the key of F. But by the time they actually did the real recording, that thing got dropped down to E flat, right? It's on the album Lady Soul from 1968. I think probably one of the best bridges, you know, Stop Trying to Be Someone, you know, for me, that is like one of the best song bridges ever in a good soul song. Because that part where she says, well then, baby, 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 don't you know that I need you? Y'all know y'all love that part. That's what you wait for. And the other highlight is the high note. You know the high note, you know I'm not going to even attempt to do it. Wait a minute, let me see if I can do it. Ooh, 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 that right. Anyway, yeah, that note right there, that is done by guess who else? I just said her name earlier. Sissy Houston. Sissy Houston came on in there with them high notes, baby. You can't play with it. I've heard a whole bunch of folks trying to do that note, and it just don't give me what I want to feel from that part. But you know, it's not insignificant, but because it is significant to the recording of that song. Don't play it. Take those high notes out and see if it feels different to you. It will. there you have it. There's my list of my favorite songs from Aretha Franklin from the 1960s. Perhaps your song list would have been different because Aretha got so many songs, even from the 1960s, that could have been on the list. But these are mine. So share yours with me, and I will probably agree that your list is good or great as well. So until the next video pops out, you be blessed and stay tuned for the next one. Come on back now. Come on back. I'll see you then. All right. Be blessed. Stay blessed.